Hey guys, welcome to this little bonus class called a peek into press. For this, you might want to set up your mat next to either a chair or even a couch, somewhere where you can really elevate your feet upwards off the floor. And if you have a few blocks, grab those too. When you're ready, I'll meet you back on the mat. Pressing into a handstand is something that requires a lot of time, a lot of patience, and it will also help to cultivate qualities of patience within you. So the purpose of this little bonus class is to introduce you to some of the techniques that you could take on the daily to begin to get a peek into what a press might feel like, okay? Pressing is really an extension of the method which you already know: stack, lean, and extend. So when we really come close to mastering those three steps of stacking, leaning, and extending, they turn into a handstand press, okay? And what it looks like is when I press, I begin to really start in a very close position. So you can see that it requires hamstring flexibility, it requires mobility in the shoulders for sure, and a whole lot of strength. So I usually come all the way on my tippy toes, and there's a bit of flexion that happens in my spine. My belly pulls in, and I can begin to float off the mat, stacking the hips on top of the shoulders. So one of the ways that when I began to learn to press myself over my hands, one thing that really helped is I used to literally get out of bed into a handstand press. And so what it looked like, I'm going to show you, is the way that I work with students to work towards a press is I have them start higher up from the floor. So the way that we're going to work towards a handstand press is we're going to elevate our hips over the shoulders with the aid of something like a chair or a couch, something that's stable though, that's not going to topple over, and you're going to then feel that it's a little bit easier when your legs are higher up. It's a little easier to get that lean forward. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. I'm going to step onto my little block. And you can imagine, if you're at home, that this is a piece of furniture, or you can even try this on your bed or couch. I have way less distance to pick up my feet now, so it's a little bit easier to get into that press position, okay? Now, I could keep adding height. So if someone needs a little bit more help, I can keep stacking. And then you can see that as you improve in your press practice, you can begin to remove height. So the practice is all about removing height until eventually we get to the floor. This is a peek into how to learn to press. Essentially, you want to aid yourself by adding height from the floor, and then as you get a little bit more practiced, you remove the layers. And in this way, the challenge continues. Pressing with the feet together, the way I showed you, into a pike, is probably most challenging. A lot of people begin by learning to press into a straddle shape. You can also use your couch or bed, or you could use blocks. So I'll show you what it looks like if I add 2 blocks under each foot. I'm going to step onto my blocks and align and lean the weight forward, opening the feet up into a straddle. Don't overshoot it. And look at the blocks, land back on the block. The method would be, as I improve in my practice, I remove a block. I remove another block. As I improve, I no longer need blocks, okay? So here's a peek into it. I hope these tips help you. George and Jenna are going to try this with me now. You guys can go ahead and try it now. Thank you for tuning in, and good luck. Namaste.